It's time to say goodbye to our long-term Tata Curvv EV. Now this one has racked up about 7,000 kilometers on the odo. We've had it with us for a couple of months and we've used it pretty extensively. Now, of course, EVs are primarily city cars, but you do tend to take them out of town once in a while. And that's what we did with the Curvv EV as well. It was just a straightforward trip to the Tata factory and back in Pimpri. So a round trip of about 300 Ks, not too much. And driving up there was pretty flawless, no problems at all. Went very comfortably, but coming back, I have to say, the range wasn't that great. And finally, I got to our office with just about 10% left and in limp mode and a lot of cars overtaking me on the Atal Setu. So I think range for long distance, not as good as I expected. But when you're in the city, that isn't a problem. And the Curvv EV just fit the bill perfectly as a pretty good city car. Now, what I really liked is the tough build, the way it really soaks up all the potholes in Mumbai, and you feel safe and solid inside the car. There are a few ergonomic niggles. The rotator isn't really very smooth. Even the graphics and fonts on the digital instrument panel, they could have been a lot better. So just ergonomically, a lot more needs to be sorted, and no cup holders at all, which for me, who loves a cappuccino when I'm going out for a drive, was sorely missing. Now, being an EV, it's smooth, it's silent, and EVs are the best automatics. So really in stop and go traffic, the Curvv EV was absolutely brilliant and really takes the sting out of that excruciating stop and go crawl which you have on our Western Express Highway in the evening. The sound system also is pretty good, but what I really loved about the Curvv EV is the aircon. Even in peak summer, it was an absolute chill box. So full marks to Tata for getting the cooling absolutely right. Now with the Curvv EV, you get that instant torque, which is really good off the line. But I have to say, the way it's been calibrated, there is a bit of a dead zone in the power delivery, especially in city and eco modes. Now we understand that is to conserve range, but I did expect a little bit more oomph, especially whilst overtaking on the highway. Speaking about range, well, in the city, really never a problem, really didn't bother to check. We would charge it every couple of days. And what I really like is the placement of the charging point right here in the center. It actually is very convenient because when it's on the side, and if that side is close to the wall, it's very difficult to get the charging gun out and plug it in. But the charging flap itself had a bit of a niggle when we first got the car. It wouldn't open or wouldn't release easily. It had to be pried open with the key. And honestly, that is one of the niggles the Curvv EV has had, but the bigger one really is when it went completely dead on me, completely blank. It didn't start. There was a hack which we had heard of, and that was to disconnect the regular 12-volt battery and put it back again. So really, I think issues which we've heard of with Tata cars, especially the EVs, we did experience them. Hopefully that will be sorted out going forward. Another issue is the wireless charging pad. Now really the pad itself, it's a bit wavy. The rubber bit doesn't fit flush. You have to press the phone down, and that is a bit annoying. But interestingly, Tata have acknowledged that and they fixed this problem in the new Sierra. Now 90% of the time I've been behind the wheel of the Curvv EV. So really from the driver's seat, it's very, very comfortable, and having that power adjustment, it's really super convenient. In fact, I'd be spoilt now in a car without power adjust, and really you can find the ideal driving position. But on the occasion I've sat at the back, it's not so good, purely because the curved or the sharply raked roofline part of the coupe design really eats into headroom. Now I'm short and even I feel the lack of headroom, so a tall person would feel it even more. And really the window area is quite small, so really feel a bit cooped up. Legroom, though, I have to say is pretty decent, but I think really where it scores when you go even further back, and that's into the boot, because on a couple of occasions going to the airport with big bags, the Curvv EV has swallowed all of them. So really very useful when you're going with family bag and baggage to the airport. Now, we had the Curvv with us throughout the monsoon, and we know the monsoon this time was a bit intense, and it's in the water or when it's raining that the Curvv EV really thrives, like any EV, and that's because you can just plow through floods without any worry. There's no worry of water coming into the engine because there's no engine at all. And the battery pack, it's IP68 certified, which means it's pretty waterproof. One feature which I really liked and Tata has done a good job of is integrating that 360-degree camera. It's sharp, it gives you good coverage and makes parking and maneuvering really easy.
Yes, the Curvv EV does have its flaws and wasn't trouble-free either. But I have to say that all the time it was with us, it was an easy car to live with, especially in the city.